Hi, this is Alexander Carlos for May 23rd, 2022. We have a loaded show today. Special guest is City of Miami Commissioner Manolo Reyes. Stay tuned for that. We're going to discuss other news. Let's hit the intro. Hey, I have some questions to ask you. I'm with the Alexander News Show.
Who are you?
Alexander Carlos, Alexander News Show. How you doing? I'm a Trump supporter. Welcome, everybody. So before we go any further, how to get a hold of Alexander Carlos, the Alexander News Show. By the way, if I'm struggling, it's because it was a long weekend. I worked on Saturday, but yesterday I was completely out of commission. So I am just actually, as I'm doing the show, I'm getting ready to start my day. But if you want to get a hold of the show, you want to follow the show, you want to follow Alexander Carlos, everything's down here below the screen. Facebook is Alexander News Show. Instagram is @Alexander News Show. Also Twitter, Alexander News SH. And by the way, we're also on TikTok at Alexander News Show 23. I believe that's the number. It's below this on the YouTube channel right here. So if you want to find me, find the exact TikTok, just go below the screen on the YouTube and you'll see it's Alexander News Show 23. It's TikTok. By the way, and I'll be adding into the graphics below at some point. I'm a one man show. That's it. I don't have like an assistant or anybody like that. But anyway, you can email the show, alexandernewsshow@gmail.com. Okay, if you are a sponsor, if you're a company, you would like to sponsor the show, or if you are a viewer, you want to make a comment or an opinion or a question, you can email the show. Okay. Also, you can text the show right here, 786-652-7240. Same thing. You're a company, you like to sponsor the show, or you're a viewer, you want to make a question or comment, you can text the show as well. Also, again, let's see. No, that's not it. Again, all my social media platforms down here, info's down here. And again, you can email the show, alexandernewsshow@gmail.com. And if you want to make a donation, download the Cash App on your phone or your tablet, Cash Alexander News Show. The money you invest will go directly to the show. Okay, and we're waiting for Mr. Manolo Reyes as he comes on the show. And again, text the show. And it's right here. All the info is down here. Ladies and gentlemen, also, please, YouTube loves this. Hit the bell for notifications. Subscribe to the channel. Slam that like button. Share and follow the show. But please, like this show. Like it. Like all my videos. It's going to get very good because I'm going to put entertainment into it as well. It can't just be politics and boring stuff, the graffiti and all that, news affairs and all that crap. Speaking of news affairs, my God, there's a lot of crap going on. You heard about this monkeypox, and by the way, please, if you have any ideas for the show, share it as well. As we're waiting for Mr. Manolo Reyes, City of Miami Commissioner, it's a scary time right now in America, in the entire world. If you go on to the Drudge Report, which is what I look at, even though he's become more of a demagogue than being in the middle. Monkeypox case spotted in Broward County. And it is spreading through sex. And it's scary because Belgium is forcing quarantines of up to 21 days with this monkeypox. The WHO, the corrupt China-controlled World Health Organization, is warning against mass gatherings, and it's already happening in China. It's starting to spread in China, the monkeypox. It's a dangerous time, ladies and gentlemen. Um, you know, at the same time, there's a lot of mass hysteria, media hysteria. So we got this guy who is the decrepit 80, 100-year-old man, Joe Biden, who's in office. You all hated Trump. And I know I'm going to say this again. I know some of you are going to be like, well, Trump was a racist. Trump was a hater. Trump was always arrogant. Yeah, but we didn't have the crisis that we have now under his presidency. And you could disagree with me, and you can even send me an insult. That's perfectly fine. I can take it. I'm not like Francis Suarez, who told me once, well, I'm a big boy. I could take it. I could take it. And then he sends me a private email saying, please to stop bashing him on Twitter. Oh yeah, Francis, you've emailed me begging me to stop humiliating you on Twitter, which I'm not going to stop doing because you're a lousy, stinking mayor. But anyway, we're waiting for Mr. Manolo Reyes to come on the show. He's about to come on now, but we got the decrepit 80-something-year-old man, Mr. Joe Biden, who is the president, and I know this monkeypox has got nothing to do with him, but we're already in a screwed up state with this inflation, and that's one of the things I'm going to talk with Mr. Manolo Reyes about. I'm going to talk to him. We're going to talk a little bit about economics, because if there's anyone in Miami-Dade County government, politics, that knows about economics, that's Mr. Manolo Reyes. The dude is a wizard when it comes to economics. And we're going to talk about inflation. That's one of the reasons I'm bringing him on the show. Yes, we're going to talk about the crap that is going on in the city of Miami. We're also going to talk about his good works, what good things he's done for his district. He's got the best looking district of all the 5 commissioners in the city of Miami. And I don't care about Christine King, that King lady, who's a puppet of Keon Hardiman. I don't care about that. She's only been there for 2 months. Doesn't matter. I think she's still a lousy commissioner. She voted for the Miami Freedom Park anyway. She's not even thinking for herself. She's controlled by Hardiman. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, come on. And money's involved there as well and stuff. But yeah, we're going to talk about that, and we'll talk about the Miami Freedom Park. What a corrupt deal that is. Why Mr. Manolo Reyes voted against it. No, I'm not going to bring up the Art Acevedo stuff. I'm not going to do that to the man. He's probably still being investigated, and he won't be allowed to talk about that anyways. I don't do that. I don't set anyone up. I do straightforward interviews. They know in advance. What's going on with the questions. So anyways, I'm waiting for Mr. Manolo Reyes to come on. He's probably running a little late. Let's see. So let's talk about the other news that's going on. What's making Biden's presidency a total failure? What's making his presidency? You have any of you have anything you want to add? Please ask the question. The best way is send a text message. I want to hear you. I want to debate with you. Send a text, 786-652-7240, or an email. Email the show. And also, you can comment below the screen here as well. You can also comment. But I want to hear you. I want to hear you. I want to hear you. I want to see Yeah, I see Miami City News, 40 billion to Ukraine. Absolutely. The poor areas of the city of Miami could have used some of that money. And not only that, but also look at the cities, how devastated they look. Detroit. You got Detroit, you got Baltimore, you got St. Louis, you got Oakland, you got Gary, Indiana. There's a dude that's called Charlie Bull that I follow. And his YouTube channel is that's it, Charlie Bull. Last name is spelled B-O. B-O, and I think it's the second O. I'm not sure, but just look it up and it'll pop up. All he does is go to the worst areas of the United States, poor areas, and he films the hoods. And you see in the video the abandoned houses. He does a lot of Detroit, which I believe the majority of Detroit is all abandoned houses. It's like a war zone. And of course, this is because of all the manufacturing going over to China. That's part of the reason why. And we can thank Richard Nixon for this. He was a Republican, by the way. Those of you that think that I'm just slamming Democrats, Richard Nixon, the rhino president, started that. And then it was delivered, sealed, boom, by Jimmy Carter. That's it. And then Reagan came in and blah, blah, blah. You know the rest of the story. Detroit, 40 billion. So you get about $5 or $6 billion and give it to Detroit government, the city of Detroit. They'll have all that. With all that money, they're able to demolish all those abandoned buildings and just have a clean piece of land. But no, I mean, it's ridiculous. It's horrible. But anyway, illegal dumping and accounting. Oh yeah. I mean, North Side, close to Liberty City. And if you go into the city of Miami, Little Havana, Joe Carollo's district. But yeah, Joe Biden, what is his major failure? Major failure is this inflation. It's getting out of control. It's his major failure. We're waiting for Mr. Manolo Reyes. Let's see. He is waiting for. He's probably delayed right now. I'm waiting for him to come on the show. He should be on. I sent a link to him. All right. Let's see. He should be on. He should be coming on pretty soon. Maybe he's running a little late. But yeah, I mean, in California, the price of gas is already $6, $7. They're predicting that it's going to go to $6 a gallon over here in Miami, in the East Coast. It's going to be $6 a gallon. Okay, there he is. Mr. Manolo Reyes. Let me just go ahead and bring him on. Mr. Manolo Reyes.
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, sir?
Well, we had a little problem connecting. Finally,
No problem.
We had a firewall here that for security. I don't know why, but I mean everything's public
Now,
records, but that's the way.
Now
it is.
you're on. You're
Okay.
good. We're gonna do the intro, sir.
Okay.
Let's get this started. Ladies and gentlemen, on the Alexander News Show, in my honest opinion, this gentleman that's on the show is the most honest and most smartest, and I'm talking about economics, political figure in the entire Miami-Dade County, probably even South Florida. Let's put Broward County, Palm Beach County. City of Miami Commissioner, Mr. Manolo Reyes. Welcome to the Alexander News Show, sir.
Thank you, sir, and thank you very much for that introduction. I mean, I don't believe what he's saying. I'm honest, but I'm not the smartest one.
Well, based on what I read and what I've been told about you, you're very smart about economics. It's one of the main reasons why I brought you onto the show. I
Sure.
was just talking about the inflation issue that is going on
Yes.
right now, and I haven't even started with the rental issue. But I wanted to first talk about um, basically what you've done for your district, sir. Please share with the audience some of the good things you've done for your district. Um, if you can, please.
Well, we had tried by all means to help, particularly those people that are affected the most by inflation. They are the recipients of fixed income. When you are on a fixed income, the your purchasing power diminishes as inflation raises. Your purchasing power is diminished. And to that effect, what I've been trying to do and what I've been doing, we are providing as much groceries as we can, by partnering with Farm Share, partnering with other distributors. And also, I have a hot meal program that every single penny that came to my office for, there is a source of revenues that we receive of funding that we receive that's called is poverty. You see, is to deal with poverty. I took all those funds, and what I do, I use them by contracting with I mean, it was a provider that will bring a hot meal every day to the amount of people that I was able to pay for, and that way we're trying to ease the pain that those people are facing and are enduring, and that is very important because they are the most affected. The most affected are the retirees that they and people that they have been by whatever problem they had that they are not working, and or those are the people that at this moment we are able to help. We don't have funds to amplify or increase this program, but every penny that I get, I'm using it into trying to ameliorate the effect of this inflationary period that we are suffering now.
Mr. Manolo Reyes, your district is west of the city of Miami, most all of it, and Miami is shaped weirdly. Like
Yes, yes.
8th Street to like the Dolphin Expressway. That's like the Atapata. Blue Lagoon is also yours, right?
No, no.
No.
My district ends at 7th Street, Northwest 7th Street, and that is north. And to the west, in one area ends at 27th Avenue, and the other one 32nd. I mean, 17th Avenue. It's odd shape also. It's
Yeah, it's
17th.
weird. Yeah.
That's right. It's the 17th Avenue. Then it goes to 27th Avenue, then to 32nd Avenue. And then west, the half of Alapata, of Flagami. Flagami is from yes, from 8th Street all the way to 7th Street. And but I don't have all of Flagami, I have half of Flagami. My
Okay.
district goes to Northwest 4th Street.
The other part is I rather not mention his name.
Yes.
I'm not a fan of his either. So, but yeah, I think you know what I'm talking about. He wasn't
Yes.
very nice to you in that the last commission meeting for the Freedom Park. Let's talk about the Freedom Park real quick.
Well, let me tell you about that comment. You see, do you know that there is a psychological condition that's called projection? You see,
Yes.
you project what you are, and you call people what you are, and that's the problem.
Yeah, but you got to have common sense to realize that there's microphones open, and
Well,
it could have been done privately, and he probably could have just gone up to you privately and just said to you, "Look, this is how I feel about you, man." It just shows a
well,
lot the type of person you are.
the in order to do that, it requires guts.
Yeah. But I'll tell you one thing: your district has barely any illegal dumping, barely any graffiti, and his district is full of illegal dumping and graffiti. So there you go. And he's already been
Yeah.
around for almost 2 years. So let's talk about the Miami Freedom Park.
Yes, sir.
Please tell me why you voted against this horrible deal for the city of Miami.
From the beginning, I opposed it because I believe in processes, and if we have established process in that it is in our statutes, we must follow this. This is a land grab, and from the beginning, I said, well, if we are going to develop our parks, which will never should never be developed, we should go through the process, and the process calls for competitive bidding, and that's the only way that we know. I mean, the real value or how much. If we are getting the best deal or the maximum amount of money for that land, our system, our economic system, is based on competition, and because
Yeah,
of competition, competition is what sets the price. You see, Adam Smith was right.
that was a no
This is
bid.
what happened.
That was a
No,
no bid.
that was a no bid. They used a subterfuge that it was created by people that wanted to favor a person or an investor, and that is that instead of going to public bidding, we go through a referendum, and if you vote, I mean, people vote in favor of that, well, then you come back to the commission, and if of the five commissioners vote in favor of that project, then the contract is signed. And I said, this is not right because the person that is going to be favored by or is going to benefit from that development, that person is the one that has the money to mount a political campaign in favor of their
Yes.
project. And then they use the stadium as the bait for over 1 million square feet of construction that is going to take place there. They said the huge development with a minimum of 750 rooms hotel, a minimum of
And there's a hotel already there, by the way. On the other side, there's a big hotel,
oh, it's a big hotel, the
the
Sheraton.
Sheridan.
You see, I mean, the only thing that they need, and I wanted to do it long time ago, is just build a bridge and let the people that stayed on the Sheraton come and play golf or come and use the park. But they want to build also a shopping center that is a minimum
Where's the
million
traffic gonna?
square feet. Well, that's another thing, sir. I had never. I am accustomed of every single project or everything. You see, I am an economist by trade. You see, I have I obtained a master's in economics from the University of Florida, and
Yes, I read that.
every time that I have done economic analysis or feasibility analysis and all of that, it is based on projections that has some backing. I haven't seen. They claim that they're going to create 15,000 jobs based on what? Based on what? I want to do the working papers. They don't have a traffic study. They don't have a traffic study. They
No, and
had
it's common sense tells you it's right next to the airport. On a
absolutely.
Saturday afternoon, there's a soccer game going on. I mean, you've been to the downtown over there where the arena when the Heat game's going on.
Yes.
15,000 people. How bad is the traffic there? Just imagine it's going to be just like that over there in that area. Great,
But and
great plan, right? That's called Great Plan,
that's right, great. And those people they're gonna suffer. Another thing
and the
that I was
expressway
asked,
too.
that expressway 836. Another thing that I was asking was for an impact analysis. I want an impact analysis. What was going to be I wanted a cost benefit analysis. In other words, what the benefits are going to be and what the cost it's going to bring. I mean, how much are those people are going to suffer? What's the impact on businesses around the area? What's the impact on the airport? That which is extremely important. The airport is one of the main economic engines of the county. How can we negatively impact the airport and don't suffer the consequences? The consequences could be that many of the travelers they are going to move if they take so long for them to get to Miami airport. Well, they have an alternative. They can go to Fort Lauderdale and leave from there. You're going to if you're going to spend 2 hours to get to the airport and 35 minutes to get to Fort Lauderdale airport, I mean, you will go to Fort Lauderdale. You
No,
see, it
I
is
totally
basic.
agree.
You
I
see,
mean, listen, I'm a fan of Inter Miami. I'm all for the stadium, but these are multi-billionaires that they could have gone and gotten a private land. And by the way,
absolutely.
that's not the place for a stadium. It's just not a
No,
place. You could have done
listen,
a lot of other things for that piece of land. Mel
you,
Reese.
you, you see the. I mean, you just mentioned something, and you gave an example, which is reality. A Heat game. Well, to reach the arena, you have many more ways than to reach this place. You can only reach the Ameris only through 42nd or 37th Avenue. You
Yeah.
see, or 14th Street. That if you open a road to reach the arena, you have Biscayne Boulevard. Every single street from I would say from First Street to to I mean to until Miami ends. You know,
You even have
all
the
of those
Metro
rail.
Rail.
You see, you have the Metro Rail, you have the People's Mover, you have a bunch of other means that we don't have there. You see, I mean, we don't have so many accesses as the arena, and even with all those accesses, the traffic after the game it is horrendous, and that's going to negatively impact the businesses surrounding that area and the neighborhoods. And we will have to protect our neighborhoods. I mean, that's the backbone of our city, the neighborhoods, and
So
that's
is
what
this
we are
already?
elected.
So is this already like in your opinion? Is this Miami Freedom Park deal a final done deal? It's already done, final.
Well, in my opinion, there could be some legal. Uh, I mean, some people who might go and try to challenge it legally because of the process. And there is also the approval from the FAA hasn't come yet, and the traffic study has not been approved at all.
And do you believe the county might get involved as well? The
I
Miami-Dade
believe
County,
I believe it is their duty. I believe they should because
because of the impacts that it could have with the airport.
the airport is it is quite important, and they are responsible for the airport.
I mean,
See,
is there a stadium next to an airport in this country? I'm
not
trying
that
to
I know,
think. I'm trying
not
to
that I
think
know.
who in their right mind would build a stadium, a sports stadium next to an airport. It just doesn't. That just doesn't make any sense. I mean,
It's not only next to the airport; it's also under the landing and taking off lines. You know, I mean, the flying path. It is under the flying path
absolutely.
for the oh yes,
And
yes,
this is
it's
also a real estate hustle. Mr.
yes,
Manolo Reyes, explain your work. You are the chair of the Downtown Development Authority.
yes, yes, I
Please,
am.
can you explain to me what is the duty of the Development Authority, the mission for downtown Miami? What
Well,
is it that you do?
the mission for the DDA is quite defined. You see, it is the I will say redevelopment, promote the redevelopment of downtown Miami and the surrounding areas. Uh, and when I was elected, the chairman of DDA, I immediately tried to implement uh, what I believe it is necessary every time that or is required every time that we are uh, promoting development is to create the conditions for development. So uh, we had a huge problem with homeless uh, cleaning. I mean the it was filthy downtown. You couldn't walk because it stench, and there were certain areas you
I
couldn't
know.
walk.
I've
You
done
see,
videos of that
okay. Well,
in my channel.
we started working, trying to find a way in order to get the homeless into areas, or trying to get them into, I will say that, I'm not going to say housing because we don't have enough housing, but shelters. You see, into some shelters, and trying to identify that the homeless problem is mostly because of mental illness and addiction. You see, we're trying to work onto
And
that,
special needs as well.
special needs. And then downtown was very dark, and I started an illumination project, and which has been successful. People were afraid of walking into that in downtown Miami because it was dangerous. I mean, that's a fact. So we have, I called, and I worked with the police department. We have more security, and we have also changed. When I drafted some legislation in order to facilitate those developers that their hands were tied because of Miami 21, and they couldn't start developing those empty stores that you see on Flagler Street because of certain I would say conditions that they have to meet. So we eased those conditions, and I started little by little, and I am quite I mean, hopeful that we could, in the near future, see that the development, redevelopment start. Another problem that I encountered when I first got to the chairmanship, there was a project for Flagler Street, the renovation of old Flagler Street, and it was stalled. Nothing was being done. So I immediately found out what was holding those projects, that big, huge project back. And I got in touch with the county and our departments and everybody. So we started the project, and I'm happy to say that the first phase of the project, which is from Biscayne Boulevard to Northeast 2nd Avenue, is being completed. Now we started the second phase, which is from Northeast 2nd Avenue to Miami Avenue. That's the another phase that is going to start pretty soon. So, I mean, in a year and a half, we have gone real far with this project, and I believe that if we keep on doing what we're doing, we are setting the conditions for development. And once we set the conditions for development, people will come. You see, another thing that we do is we attract companies to come to downtown Miami and establish themselves. We provide incentives to those companies. But as I was, I mean, I stated the first day that I got to the DA, I said, oh, we can bring any company, we can offer the best buildings and the best places. But if their employees are afraid to go out and have lunch, they wouldn't come because
Yeah,
that
the homeless problem. I've done some documentaries about the homeless problem. And one of the times that I went there, it was this was like during coronavirus, of course. It was smelling of urine. It was
yes,
it was horrible. It was I believe it's like on right. You mentioned Flagler, but it's like First Street.
First
It
Street.
was like 2 blocks straight of homeless individuals. This was like at around 1 o'clock in the morning. Very
Well,
dangerous. But I do this because of my, the documentaries, the business, and it was homeless just living there. Obviously now it's
mhm.
cleaned up.
It's
Um,
clean up. It's clean up. We
but
found a
but
way of cleaning it up.
but there's still a homeless problem. There is
Oh, that
still.
is.
They're
Oh,
still
yes.
around there.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. But what we did, you see, I enacted legislation in order to, I mean, do away with street feeding. You see, there were many people that are very well intended people. They will come at any time of the day, and whatever they see a homeless, they will feed them. They will give them some food. Some of them they already eaten, and some of them they didn't like the food or didn't want the food, and they will throw it on the street.
Yeah.
So I passed legislation that prohibits that. Instead of doing that, what we are doing now, we are identifying areas that if you want to come and you want to feed the homeless, well, you ask for a permit, and the homeless would they know where to go because they're going to be
Which
fed
is a
there.
lot better. A lot better.
Absolutely. Another thing that we're doing in downtown Miami, we are establishing pit stop bathrooms. You see, so they don't have to defecate and urinate on the street. They
Yeah,
will
that
have
was
a
going on.
bathroom that it's going to be manned. And listen to this: it is manned by former homeless that they want to reintegrate themselves into society. We're giving them the opportunity
Okay.
to work in those bathrooms. And at the same time, we have a program also, which is the ambassador programs, that it is composed of former homeless that they are in downtown Miami and they help you around and all of that. And we've been doing all of those, those programs and trying to uh, make it bigger. So those homeless that they want to, leave that style of life, uh, that we will give them the opportunity to work. And also, those homeless that are still around, they don't have to do their body functions in the street. This way,
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
and
that's that is. I've seen that, and it's just it's
it's
horrible.
disgusting. It is
Yeah,
disgusting,
yeah,
and at the same time, you see, before our hands were tied because of the Pottinger decision, and we
yes.
finally we did away with Pottinger, and I asked the city,
Horrible decision. Horrible, by the
horrible
way.
decision,
Horrible piece of legislation.
absolutely, and then I asked our city attorney, to do I said it was not a seminar, but uh, provide the instructions that will inform the police department what they can do and they couldn't do. You see, they were gun shy. They didn't know how to deal with homeless because their hands were tied. They couldn't even talk to them in a way because their hands were tied because of Pottinger. Now they are learning that if I myself, I cannot defecate in the street, nobody else can defecate in the street. It doesn't matter if you're homeless. And besides that, what we're doing is we are letting them know that if that happens, they could be arrested, and they have an alternative. Those bathrooms that we are creating, we have 5 already, and we are going to be creating more.
Now, I wanted to ask you about overdevelopment. In my opinion, and this was way before, by the way, this just to be fair, this started way before you even
Oh yes,
became commissioner of City of Miami. Are you concerned about overdevelopment in the city of Miami, downtown,
absolutely,
and it destroying
absolutely.
the bay, our ecosystem?
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm very concerned about all those mayors development that is going to come to Miami. You see, there was this idea that Miami should become another Manhattan. And well, I don't. Sometimes you, you, you're sorry for what you wish for. You see, and everybody just wanted to go vertical, and they want to bring that same type of idea into our neighborhoods, and that's the biggest problem that I have, because I want to protect the neighborhoods. I want to protect single family homes. You see, every time that they bring in my district, they want to go 20, 30 stories high. I am totally opposed to that. I want to protect our neighborhoods. I am very concerned about the traffic that is going to create. Once, let's say that you build 150 apartments, how are you going to get those people in and out? You see,
Yeah.
what is the impact in the community, in the total community? It is not. We cannot be blinded by revenues that we are going to obtain, or through the real estate taxes. We cannot be blinded. We owe our residents. We owe our residents protection, that the quality of life, it is not impacted by those developments. You see, and I'm very, very much concerned. And I do understand that we need housing, particularly affordable housing. And to that effect, and I am also,
Everything can't just be centered on Brickell and downtown,
yes,
because what's happening to the bay is disgraceful. I mean, our
it
bay
is, it
is
is.
being destroyed before our eyes, and the developers don't seem to care. They don't say they seem to be reckless.
but it is. You see, I'm going to tell you what I told Jorge Mas when we were discussing the stadium. He said you mentioned a little while ago that you like soccer. I said yes, I like soccer also, and I don't have anything personal against them. It's just a business transaction. Their business is to make money, and my business is to protect the people. You see, and this is what is happening. The county, neither the county or the city, they have placed the conditions and I mean to help the people most than anything else, because only protect our bay. But our bay is our natural resource, and it is what we've been selling all along. Miami, I mean, the selling point of Miami was the sunshine and the sea. I mean, that's the only thing we have. Our
But if
beaches
you have a
and
bad bay,
that's
and
right.
of course beaches are kind of messed up already, you
Yes,
have
yes,
no more beach. People are not going to come
absolutely.
here.
That's right. And but people that were here, that were living here, they're suffering the consequences. Yeah, we have to take measures in order to slow it down a little bit. And also, there is a big concern about the climate change and how the sea is going to
Yeah.
affect the city of I mean the city of Miami, and these the Army Corps of Engineers, they came with this fantastic idea of creating a wall all around Miami, and I call it the Berlin Wall. And we totally, I mean, I was totally opposed to it from as a commissioner and as a chairman of DDA. And finally, they are going to go to a drawing board again and see how can we have burns and we can have other means, natural means that they will protect us from the sea rise.
Why are you opposed to it? I'm curious to know.
To the Berlin Wall that they wanted to build,
Yeah.
because that will, you see, it's a wall that is going to be about 20 feet tall. And can you imagine you driving Biscayne Boulevard and not looking at the sea? And I
Okay.
mean, that is that. And besides, who's going to maintain it? It's going to be, it's going to be graffiti heaven. You
Oh
see,
my God.
because
Yes.
I mean that
Oh
is
yes.
you have to also all the time you have to look at the consequences in
And
the
your city
future.
manager, if he's still around, well, I doubt he'll be around. Whoever is implemented it, if it's Suarez that implements him, he's going to look the other way because he doesn't care about cleaning up Miami with
Oh
graffiti.
man, don't
Let
get
me
me
ask you about
don't get
the
me going.
really quickly before we get going. Two more questions. Can you please explain the deal?
What deal? Hello, 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 hello.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Okay. The deal that you guys do, developers, as far as city owned land, and to build affordable housing. How does that work? How do you do the deal with the developers? How does that work? Because I
Well,
personally don't know.
well,
If you understood my question, by the way.
yes, yes, I understand your question. There hasn't been so much city land. I mean, being developed for developers, but there have been some, and particularly in downtown. I mean, in Overtown. We provide the land, and they provide I mean, they do all the construction and therefore uh, offer a certain amount of low income apartments. I mean, for low income apartments that they are about, in my opinion, about 60 or below 80% of the AMI. And that's a big problem that we have, and I curtail it also. They were offering, because other developers, they came and they asked for benefits, additional density, additional floors, and they claim that they were providing workforce housing, and by workforce housing, they claim that they could go up to 140 of AMI. AMI of that in Dade County, it is $67,000, and by going 140% of it's $67,000, they can increase families worth 90 some $1,000, and they could charge rent that it was around 2,400 a month. I said, this is not affordable. This is not affordable. Then, and I had a big fight, and I presented. And it took me a long time to lower the maximum that they can use of the AMI to 100% of AMI, which is the rent will be around 1,600, 1,500. That's the maximum. From there, going down, go below it, because the city of Miami, AMI of the city of Miami is $40,000. You see, many people believe that Miami is, when they say Miami, Miami is that glamorous city where everybody comes to party and have a good time. And that's not the real Miami. Miami has a lot of people that that they have low-paying jobs, and we have very
Miami's one of the
poor
poorest
sector
cities in the entire country.
in the entire countries, and we have to realize that, and we have to make, policies that will address that. You see, and because other cities are doing using that workforce, a formula. We don't have to use it. We don't have to use it. We have to use it. The formula has to benefit our residents, and that's why
Yeah.
I had that huge fight.
So, what benefits do? I just wanted to. Maybe I didn't get you the beginning. What financial benefits does the developer get for building in the city-owned land, housing?
Well, they get the land, and then they could get the changing in zoning. For example, if it is, it could go in, if the zoning is to only six floors, they could go to higher than six floor, and also major density, which they will have more people more apartments per floor, etc., etc.
So they get all the rent money once it's all built. If
It
it's
all it
rental,
all it all depends with the the deal that is done. If it is in my land, if I buy, because I already have a tract of land that we're going to build some affordable housing there, and also
okay.
I am in the process. I have a program that we got 6 lots, and we're going to build single family homes, 4 bedrooms, and 3 baths, and then they are going to be sold at cost, and the city will help to those families that qualify for it.
But the
You see?
developer, if it's rentals, do the developers make monthly? They make
Yes,
money
yes,
monthly. Do they keep all
yes.
the money, or the city gets a part of it?
I would say that they keep most of the money.
So
They
that's
keep.
their deal.
That's the
Okay.
deal. And
All you guys do is come to an agreement. This is the city tells their developer, this is a set amount of money you make. I mean that you can charge in rent. We're going to give you the land.
that's right. And what we said is
Okay.
this cannot go. The rent cannot go above this amount.
Okay. What about if inflate? Now talking about inflation, about the rentals. Can you please tell this audience? And by the way, if you want to ask, we're almost done. But if you want to comment, have a question for Mr. Manolo Reyes, please send it, text it, or make a comment. But I want to talk
Listen,
about inflation. Sorry, go ahead.
I have. Well, I still have a little time. Okay. I, I have a street nomination that I have to go to,
Okay, well, yeah, we'll make
but
it short. Can you comment why is it who do we blame for this inflation and the rental crisis? So this will be the
well,
last
the
question.
rental crisis in Miami is because it's as everything in economics. This is the consequences of supply and demand. You see, we don't have the supply does not meet the demand. As you know, there have been a lot of people that have come from every part of the world, Miami. Uh, right now, we know that from Latin America, from Cuba, we are receiving a huge amount of people, and also we have people moving from all over the United States to Miami. Some come to Miami, Florida, but there's a lot of come to Miami. That places, the demand increases, and you know that when supply does not meet the demand, the prices go up. And the only answer that we have is to build more apartments. and therefore we could be stressing a little bit more our residents. You see, and that's why we have to be very careful when we allow the apartments to be built and where are they are going to be built. You see, but it is not that easy. Now the national,
Yes.
the national uh,
Inflation.
inflation. Well, it's a combination of factors. You see, start with we have a supply line that that it has not been fed because of all the problems that we had with COVID, and but we had not taken action in order to allow those containers and those products. The line of distribution has been totally destroyed. Not destroyed, but interrupted, and we should have taken measure in order to facilitate those coming in. There are ports that they should have been working 24 hours a day, and allow trucking companies to allow. I'm talking about in California that have created a big mess in all the United States. And besides, we have a problem now with the cost of transportation has increased tremendously because of the price of a barrel of oil, and which would have been less if the measures taken by President Biden in order to satisfy the
We
demand
could have
from
avoided a
the
war with
extreme.
Ukraine and Russia. If that could have been avoided.
That could have been avoided. Well, I think that I'm a firm believer that the uh, the uh, the signals that you sent is very important. You cannot send a signal that you are weak or the country is weak because it takes other countries will take advantage. It happened in Iran when Saddam, I mean in Kuwait when Saddam Hussein thought that the United States would not intervene if he would invade Kuwait. He did, and it happened in Iran when they got our they went into our embassy and get the people hostage, and so on and so on. And it happened with Hitler also. I mean, when that he had a signal that nothing was going to happen if he invaded Czechoslovakia. I mean, those are the time in history that maybe a different policy would have been a deterrent, but we could have had avoided that substantial increase if we had been producing at the same rate that we were producing before. You see,
And so
producing oil.
we can blame Biden in part for this because he shut down the Keystone
That's right.
Pipeline too.
We can. Listen, I have to go.
Hey, I want to say thank you for appearing on the Alexander News Show.
No, it's a fine. I mean, anytime. I love to talk to you.
Mr. Manolo Reyes, I know you got to go, and I appreciate you coming on the show. Next time, you're welcome on the show anytime. You have yourself a great day and a great week, sir.
You too, and I'm sorry that I have to cut this short, but they're
No,
waiting for
it's
me.
okay. I understand. You have to tend to the duties of the city of Miami and
Sure,
of your
sir.
district.
Yes, sir.
I
Yes,
understand, sir. But
yes,
you
sir.
are, in my honest opinion, and this is from the bottom of my heart, one of the most honest political figures in Miami-Dade County, for sure, and sincere. That's
Thank
my
you, sir.
opinion.
Thank you, sir. Thank you
And
very
very
much.
smart.
Thank you.
Very smart man. Thank you. You have yourself a great day, sir.
Thank you, sir. God bless you.
You
God bless
too.
you all. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Manolo Reyes, City of Miami Commissioner, appearing on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to take a quick break right now. And I'll be back and we'll discuss more. Let me give you a quick clip of what we're going to talk about. And then let me put the intro to the show. It's 10:47 Eastern Standard Time. And then we're going to talk about the urban development boundary. All right. I'm going to give you the intro. And then a clip in regards to the urban development boundary, and then I'm going to give you my opinion about this. And I'll tell you a little bit about what I thought of the interview with Manolo Reyes. Hey, I have some questions to ask you. I'm with the Alexander News Show.
Who are you?
Alexander Carlos, Alexander News Show. How you doing? I'm a Trump supporter.
I'm going to work hard and pray that the application does not.
Nobody made the motion to approve this application today because they know they don't have the 9, at least as we stand here today.
Move that line and build a district with warehouses, a hotel, a shopping center, and a promise to bring more than 11,000 jobs to the area south of the Turnpike.
This could be a transformational project for the South Miami-Dade County area. Please support this. We need it. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you saw the video about the urban development boundary. Now, before I go any further, that was Manolo Reyes, and I asked him some very important questions in regards to overdevelopment of this downtown Miami and what it is doing to the Bay. What it is doing to the Bay. Well, by the way, I'll tell you, a very distinguished gentleman. If we had 5 of him serving, 5 Manolo Reyes serving on the board of city commissioners in the city of Miami, Miami wouldn't be in the state it is now. Now, no one's perfect. And he's not perfect, but he's the better of the 5 commissioners. And you saw that I asked him the question about Diaz de la Portillas calling him a bad name. I'm not even going to say it. You can kind of figure it out for yourself. I'll let you find out on your own. And Mr. Manolo Reyes, there you see, he made his opinion known, and also discussed about the homeless issue. So I hope if you missed it, just rewind back. But in regards to overdevelopment, you saw the video right now. This is from Channel 7 News in regards to the urban development boundary. What it's going to be, what's going to happen if it's built. Well, it's very simple. It's going to destroy the environment, the ecosystem for that area. There's a reason why the urban development boundary was set up. When they say, well, it's going to create 10,000 jobs, it's going to bring life down to South Dade, there's plenty of undeveloped land inside of Homestead. All you got to do is drive down there. See, the media down here in Miami, they won't tell you this because they're all in bed with all these political figures. And we're talking about the commission, Miami-Dade County Commission. I have to give props to the 2 Higgins ladies. I have to give props to Renee Garcia, who came on the show, by the way. I have to give props to Mr. Monestein, even though he's got the most disgusting district of all the commissioners. And I believe there's a couple of other ones. I'm not sure if Joe Martinez as well. I'm not going to include him in this. But they all voted against this in the last commission meeting, which was about a week ago, for the same reasons as I oppose it. See, if you give the developers, and I'm trying to find the name of the company, I'm trying to find it, that wants to develop this 800 acres inside this zone that's between 107th and 122nd Avenue, correct me if I'm wrong, in South Dade, okay? You're not allowed to build there. But if the commission votes like Pepe Diaz is in bed with the, I kind of believe he has sex with a developer. I'm sorry, did I say that? He's in bed with the developers. He gets money from the developers. He kisses their ass, and they kiss his ass. And the rest of the commission, Sally Heyman, Keon McGee, who I thought it was great. No, Keon McGee, you're not, and there you go, he's a Democrat. You're not a environmentalist if you decide to build here. So what happens if they vote and this goes through, then it's going to encourage and set the path for development, past Chrome, well west, and destroy the Everglades. So what happens if this passes? That's what's going to happen. You allow this to happen, you allow this to go through, and I guarantee you, here, I got it right here. I guarantee you that if this happens and this passes, June 1st, I believe it's when the vote is going to come, first week of June, that, boom, the rest of the urban development boundary will just be extended going west. And I have to give props to Daniela Cava. This means Daniela Cava is against this. Okay, and Daniela Cava, if you hold your ground on this, and you commissioners hold your ground, including you, Miss Higgins, both of the Higgins ladies, this is going to set the stage up for you to continue your political careers. Unfortunately, for a guy like Pepe Diaz, the suck-ass poser, if he votes for this, which he's going to vote for this, by the way, he's going to vote for this. He's term limited, so he's going to go to Sweetwater. And the stupid people of Sweetwater, by the way, my business is there too. They don't know anything about this. They're going to vote for this schmuck to become mayor. So that's what's going on. Anyways, Manolo Reyes, you just go back and see the interview. But some of the news that's going on, we talked about monkeypox. I believe there's some media hysteria behind this. So, yes, it's true. Could it be a pandemic? I don't know. Biden says to be concerned. But then again, Biden's 80 years old, 90 years old. Okay, so there's the inflation issue. We talked about this. You shut down the Keystone Pipeline. And by the way, he also closed development for more oil drilling in other parts of the country. This is Joe Biden. And the moment he did that, the price of gas went up 40 cents a barrel. I know that by where I live, it's now $4.69 a gallon. We're going to $6 a gallon. And the war with Ukraine could have been avoided. Biden could have just told Zelensky, listen, with Putin, of course, you're never going to join NATO. And then he could have told Putin, listen, we're going to pull back our missiles. We're going to pull back our soldiers. And I believe that Putin would have been like, okay, fine. Now Finland and Sweden want to join NATO. You want to push Russia even more, their backs against the wall. So, yeah, part of it is to blame. Biden's part to blame for this. Of course, in my honest opinion, it started with the second Bush, because Clinton, if you're smart, see, all of you think that I'm a Republican lover. No, I'm also a Democrat lover. Democrat lover like of Joe Manchin or the Bill Clinton's type. If you remember when Clinton was in office, Clinton worked with the Gingrich, who was the Speaker of the House, led Republican Congress. They ended welfare. They ended subsidies for lazy people. And this was Clinton, a Democrat. He thought, and he was very smart, he leaned to the middle, and he actually leaned more to the right. More like what Joe Manchin is today. Or Sinema of Arizona, the senator. And we ended up with a surplus. We had one of the best economies, at least in my lifetime, and I'm 45 years old. Okay, better economy than even that of Reagan's. If you want to disagree with me, send a text, comment below the screen. Okay? And then the second Bush went ahead and decided to print money. He went ahead and decided to print money. Then Obama came in, made it worse. Trump. I'm a big fan of Trump. Though I will tell you, I would rather have DeSantis now. And I know we have a couple of viewers that hate DeSantis. I'm going to express my opinion. I'd rather have DeSantis now be the man that will be the nominee for the Republican Party to run and become president. Because he's not the crazy dude that Trump is. But anyway, but Trump printed money, and now this guy Biden comes out yesterday saying we've reduced the deficit by about $1 trillion. Yeah, but you got it gas at $6 a gallon, a shortage of baby formula, food prices, 12 eggs, a box of 12 eggs is $3.50, $3.59, the cheap brand, which is like the store brand of a Publix or of a Walmart. So anyway, that's what's going on. And you heard a little bit, we discussed this with Minister Manolo Reyes. And so what's a big report. Southern Baptist leaders covered up sex abuse, lied about secret database. Let me read this again. It's a report, and this is on Drudge. And again, Drudge has leaned to the left. He's blasting Elon Musk. Southern Baptist leaders covered up sex abuse. I never go to church. I never hear a priest or a pastor because they're just like me. That's all I'm going to tell you. They're worse than you and I put together. They're evil. I would say the majority of priests and pastors are like that. And this is a report. This is not news to me. Anyways, let's see what other news is there. Alex Cooper coming for Joe Rogan's spot. Okay, whatever. Let's see. Have you seen the attacks against Elon Musk? Now, I know there's a little bit of money involved because Elon Musk is pissed that Biden never invited him to the White House for the Tesla thing. But, Elon Musk came to his senses and decided and finally realized that being Democrat, unless you think like Joe Manchin, who I like a lot, by the way. He's the reason why we haven't gone way to the left. I give him all the credit in the world. Just like I give Mr. Manolo Reyes all the credit in the world. It's the reason why Miami is still a livable city because of Manolo Reyes. Political figures like him. Well, Joe Manchin, he's my hero. So Elon Musk came to his senses and finally realized that you're not going to get anywhere being a Democrat or voting Democrat, because the Democrat Party is not the party of Clinton anymore. It's not the party of JFK. It's now the party of the left-wing fascists. It's run by the fascists, by the communists. Joe Biden is just a puppet. And waiting in the wings is Kamala Harris. So there's other news. Australia has a new president. By the way, Australia has a housing crisis as well. It's not just a U.S. issue. You want to know what's my solution to ending this affordable living, to lowering the rental issue? You see, Manolo Reyes, I didn't want to get into it with him, but there is a lot of empty rental units in Miami. You go down US 1, up down south and north on US 1, you see a lot of empty units. But the reason for that is because who the hell can afford to live there? Who can afford to live there? I'm going to be doing a documentary about that. I'm going to do videos about that. And I'm going to show you the empty units. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Now, of course, you don't have that going on. You have that going on in US 1, but you don't have that issue going on in Kendall. At least from what I've seen, from what I've investigated, in the better areas, because everybody wants to move to the good areas. Nobody wants to live in a bad area. I understand. But if you want to be in Miami, then you go to the bad area and you live in the bad area. But even the bad areas, rents are out of control. It's ridiculous. No, I agree. Supply and demand, I agree. But this is a worldwide issue. It's not only Miami, Florida, or the U.S. It's happening in Australia, Europe, China. Inflation is a worldwide problem. So Biden's just a small piece to blame. So yeah, we talked about the urban development boundary. So yeah, where do you go to get your news? Well, you can follow Alexander News Show. You definitely can follow Alexander News Show. By the way, I was still with the captions of Manolo Reyes. That's over. That was my mistake. That's stupid on my part. That's okay. So there you go. All the social media platform there. TikTok, Alexander News Show at 23, I believe it is, at Alexander News Show 23. And if you want to, okay, Twitter's the best one. Alexander News SH. You know Luther Campbell? Notice I don't say Uncle Luke. He's not Uncle Luke. He's just Luke. Luke, let me tell you something, sir, before I sign off. You're the biggest hypocrite that's ever been around, ever existed. You sold records, made millions of dollars, saying bad words, okay? Just saying bad words. You probably could rap. Yeah, I guess you could rap. You owned a lounge called Strawberries back in the day, and when I brought it up in that little meeting that you had yesterday on Twitter, the Twitter spot, you weren't too fond of me making that comment. I said, hey, Luke, Uncle Luke, I remember you from back in the days when you used to own Strawberries. From the music, you were like, you didn't even compliment me. You didn't even give me a pleasantry. You didn't even say thank you. Then when I said Keon Hardiman, you decided, boom, you took me out. Well, you see, Mr. Luke Campbell, Luke Skywalker, wannabe. You can't hold a meeting and talk about Black American issues and kiss the ass of Francis Suarez and kiss the ass of Keon Hardiman, two despicable political figures that have done nothing for the Black community of City of Miami. And I say, you are, sir, a huge hypocrite. You got no balls, you got no testicles, because I wrote you on Twitter a bunch of crap and you didn't respond. You got no balls, you got no testicles. And I'm going to make sure that I put this on Twitter and it's sent to you. I challenge you, sir, to a debate, public debate. I also challenge you to come on my show. I'll even go on your show. I want you to explain to me how you can be very good friends with Francis Suarez, who's done nothing to fix the Black community. It's still the way it is. You're talking about, we elect Black leaders, political leaders, to come, to represent us, to fix our issues, but nothing's getting done. Okay, you say that, and you host a little meeting with some African Americans. You're brainwashing them, by the way, and they're all brainwashed. And then you are friends with the same people that you're talking about that you voted for. You're telling people you voted for them, but they ain't doing nothing for us. You're friends with them. You can't have lunch in the same table with political figures or with people that are not going to do anything for you. You're a freaking despicable human being. And because I just said that, you'll never come on my show because you got no balls. Anyway, this is the end of the Alexander News Show. We're done. I don't know. Maybe I eventually will have a set schedule coming on every single week. But this is a work in progress. I thank you all for tuning to the Alexander News Show. Thank you for supporting it. Slam the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell for notifications. Every time you hit the bell for notifications, new video, you'll know the video's coming up or I'm coming up for the show. There's too much news going on, ladies and gentlemen, and the best thing to do is go on my Twitter, Alexander News Show. Sign up for Twitter if you don't have one. It's awesome. Alexander News Show SH. Facebook is Alexander News Show. TikTok, you already know TikTok. And Instagram as well. And you can also go to Yahoo News. That's what I do. I still read the Drudge Report because even though he's leaning to the left, he's still the best website. Google News is also good. And locally here, I go to WSVN 7. I think that's the best one, the website for the local news. But Twitter is very good also for local news and national and world news. You should really get Twitter. Okay, and for now, I'm signing off. Don't be scared, ladies and gentlemen. Things will eventually get better. Have a great one. This is Alexander Carlos, Alexander News Show, for May 23rd, 2022. Bye.